sitting here again. It's an absolutely gorgeous sunny Sunday morning out there, so I thought what better way to enjoy the sunshine than to stay indoors and sublimate a couple of items on a really hot heat press. So what we're going to look at, well, I've got two MDF items that we're going to put through their paces. We have these little MDF door hangers, and also I have one of these MDF key holders. They've sort of got holes on the back pre-drilled to hang onto a wall, and holes on the front for the hooks to go onto. So I've got a couple of designs for these. I'm going to print them out, and what I'll do is move the camera in so we can see what I'm doing, tape up the designs, put them through the press, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully you've got a good view of what I'm doing down here. As you can see, I've already printed off the design for the key holder, and this is the printout for the door hanger as well, both mirror imaged. So if I just move this one down, all we're going to do is place this face down, making sure we get it the right way up, align it within the border. So I sort of printed a border around the outside of the design to make it easier to fit this in place, and we'll use a little bit of heat tape just to hold it down. I don't want to put too much because it does sometimes lift off the black down the sides if it tacks on and gets too much heat, so I just tend to use the back and a little bit onto the paper, quite loosely tacked on. I'll just do another one at the top and the bottom, just so it doesn't slide around too much when the press is applied. So that's that one ready to go. We'll get the next one ready, and then we'll move over to the heat press. So onto the door hanger, exactly the same approach. As you can see, I've got just a completely open area at the top. These tend to come, when you buy them, with the hook going in either direction. So rather than make a design that means I'm stuck with one, I've just left the top area completely open, so it doesn't really matter which one I get, it will fit in. So I'm going to put this one quite close to the bottom of the design to get as much of the yellow border on it as I can. Just hold it in place while I put some heat tape on. Good old heat tape. Amazing stuff. Put a little bit more on with this one than I would normally do on other items, to kind of hold it in place, especially around the top with the hook. I just tend to do one that goes over both sides of it, and one last bit just on the end. Okay, so that's both of those ready to go. I've got the heat press running at about 185 degrees at the moment, and a timing of about 90 seconds, which is for the key hangers. So we'll do those first, then we'll change the settings and the pressure for the door hanger. So I'll just swing out the platen. I've got a piece of sort of silicone paper down here. That's just to prevent any excess ink from the sublimation paper getting onto any of the sort of platen. You'll see that one's obviously been through a few times with mouse mats, but it's pretty okay to keep using it. And let's pop the blank on. I'm going to cover it with a sheet of Teflon, and like I said, this is set at 90 seconds. Hopefully I've got the pressure setting correct, but I'll make some adjustments as I go if I need to. And lowering it down, and there we go. It should be at about a medium pressure. So we'll let that run through its 90 seconds, take it out, see what we get. Just remove the Teflon. Burnt MDF has an interesting smell, but if we take that off, just a little bit gentle, that can get discarded. still really hot, so I'm just going to hold it up by a couple of pieces of tape. But there we go, we'll have a proper look at that in a couple of minutes. I'm going to put it on the side here. I'm going to reset the heat press, lower it down a little bit, change the timings for the door hanger. It's at the same temperature, 185. Timing drops to about 65 seconds. Again, medium pressure, but also you need to lower the platen all the way down. So let's just drop that down and keep going. Okay, let me just see how that feels without everything in it. Okay, that's still too low. Still a little bit too low. That'll probably be about right. And next one can go in. Get the Teflon sheet back. And it's going to change the timings to 65 seconds. And there we go. And time's up. So again, take the Teflon off, and we will just pry this loose, discard the scrap, and again, just a quick look, pop it on the side to cool down. I'm going to switch the press off now. So I'll let these cool down, and then we'll put them back to the workbench, and we'll have a look at the finished products. And here we have the two finished items. So if we have a look at the key hanger first, I'll just hold it up to the camera so you can have a little look at that one. You'll see that the blacks are nice and crisp and dark, which is always good. You'll also notice the glossy finish. It really sort of comes out once you sublimate it. Also, top tip, don't forget to remove the plastic film that covers these before you sublimate it, otherwise you will completely destroy your heat press. But again, you know, nice quality looking item. Once you put the hooks in and put this on the wall, it actually looks really nice. The hooks are a bit basic and cheap that it comes with, but people can change them for whichever ones they like, or I suppose you could buy extra ones in if you wanted to. These aren't the cheapest blanks in the world to buy, but by the time you're finished, they justify a slightly higher price point for when you come to resell them. And of course you can customise them with people's photographs, their own messages, different hobbies and so on. The same goes really for the door hangers. Again, just bringing that in so you can have a little look. You'll see the really shiny glossy finish on this. I think these things look really good. They come out really well. They're bright, vibrant and colourful. You know, I've never had issues with colours coming out and looking the business on these. Again, you can offer customised versions, you know, things like just changing the messages, you know, have a design, have some text you can easily customise, and you can offer sort of editable versions of these really easily. Do ones for different hobbies, different backgrounds, different demographics and so on. But they're, you know, quite easy to do. Extra benefit is, of course, they're quite light, so when you post them out, you just need to put them in some kind of protective envelope, and they're pretty cheap in terms of postage as well. Obviously this one, much heavier, so your postal charges have to go up to accommodate it, but no real difference to posting a mug. They're about the same weight overall, therefore the same postage costs. I just put them in a sort of a standard postal sort of box and send them out, whereas these ones go in card envelopes with a bit of a sort of a backing board on them just to protect them, but they're pretty robust due to the fact they're solid MDF. So I think both of these are great little items, easy to customise, easy to sublimate. They look good, and every time I've sort of sold one, people have been really pleased and really happy with them. So MDF stuff, there's other things on the market. You can get little MDF signs as well, they come out quite nicely. There are coasters again, another easy thing to sublimate, especially if you kind of bundle them up with a mug and do like a matching set. But I'm happy with these, I think they've come out quite well. As usual, if you've got any questions, feel free to put them into the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you take a moment to like and subscribe. And if there's anything you'd like to see me do in terms of other videos, happy to take your suggestions. I've certainly had a few questions of late about what kind of paper and inks do I use, so I think my next video is probably going to be about my equipment and setup. So I'll take you through what kit I have in terms of presses, my printers, the papers, the mugs, various materials that I use, and talk about my experience with them. So thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.